There were so many areas of the business that didn't have clear systems.
That's your clear boundaries. This is how my body works, or this is how my business works.
Their efficiency, because of the simple systems they have in place, is next level.
Welcome to Burnout, Business and Body, the podcast that helps you take care of yourself and your life in 3 powerful ways.
Hi, I'm Nicole, your stress management health recovery coach, here to help you slow down, reconnect, and rediscover the peace that lives beneath the pressure.
I'm Belinda Smith, your business leadership and team coach, helping you build a life and business that supports you and your people and your profit.
And I'm Sabina, your performance coach, helping you to increase your performance from the inside out using science.
In each episode, we explore how burnout, business and body are deeply connected and how small shifts across all 3 can create big changes in your energy, your work and your life. Hi, girls.
Hello.
Good to see you. Today's topic is when you have clarity, everything gets faster. It moves faster.
Oh, I love that. It's always nice to live in a clarity mindset, isn't it?
Absolutely. Yeah, really, really important. And so to kick off today, I have a story about a client who was extremely busy and the running. So then they're not stopping, but everything around them felt slow. So they're complaining about things aren't moving fast, but they're very busy. So their decisions were sort of dragging, and the team were asking lots of questions, and all of their work was sort of taking too long. And the issue wasn't really the team, it was the clarity.
Right.
There weren't clear roles defined, not the outcomes, no consistent systems. So every task required thinking, checking, and redeciding every single time. And so we had to fix 3 core things: is get clear roles, who owned what, clear outcomes, what does done actually look like, and get some simple systems in place, how it's done every time, some structure. And so what happened is in a period of weeks, their decisions sped up, all their questions kind of dropped, and the confidence increased. So the clarity removed all the hesitation, and the systems started moving ahead in time. And so I feel like the speed doesn't come from pressure. It comes from the clarity, being clear, and just things started moving a lot quicker. So how does that fit in with what you ladies see?
Yeah, the clarity, for my work, it is, I support people in gaining that clarity. Because normally when they're coming to me, they're feeling that way and they're feeling very dysregulated or disrupted. So they haven't got that clear vision of which way is to move forward. So that's the type of stuff that I'm able to help with my clients, is gaining that awareness of what is leaking their energy. So therefore the stresses, and also how they do things. So again, we're going back to the patterns of what they do and how they might be able to change that. So they've got a clearer forward path rather than this total roundabout looping kind of scenario that we tend to get caught up in when we get very busy in our mind. So we get that busyness in our mind, and that's the mental stress that we create by keeping going over and over again and again. So that's definitely something I help with my clients. And I think we all do, in moving forward, but it's such an important thing that needs to be done, because that's when the second guessing comes in. You start second guessing yourself all the time because you're looping. So, yeah.
And from an energy conserving point of view, I mean, your brain uses a hell of a lot of glucose, a lot of energy to fuel. It's like the biggest operating system there is, and it's better than any ChatGPT, if you ask me. And it uses a lot of fuel. So 60% of your energy is dedicated to the demands of your brain. So if you are not sure where you're going and you've got that indecision, you're splitting your energy, which means the energy is being dispersed amongst several different decisions rather than being focused on one decision, which means you actually end up poorly making that one decision. It's like that, what is it? You know, that, I love it. It's the, you can't chase two rabbits. You know, you're trying to do so many things at once, and so your energy is, you know, everywhere. And there's a little bit of energy here, a little bit of energy there, and in the end, that decision fatigue, it just exhausts you.
Yep.
That decision debt, it ends up being a decision debt when you just don't have clarity, when you don't have a clear system or a clear framework of what you need to do to make those really impactful decisions. So from an energy point of view, it's really exhausting. So just clearing the noise, making sure that you clear the noise and you focus on that one decision, clear decision. 100%.
And just knowing what to do. You know, having that plan or being clear on what I'm doing, even if it's in the morning. If I'm clear, it happens really quick. I'm not thinking about it. And I just find clarity is like this speed multiplier.
Well, you feel so strong and like unstoppable because you've got that clarity. You know where you're going, you know what needs to be done, how you're going to do it, and you just get on and do it, don't you?
And I think a lot of people, though, they probably struggle with clarity because, and you know, decision fatigue, especially now, because we've all got that sort of FOMO, and there's so much noise around. Like, we feel as though, one person's telling us to do this thing, one person's telling us to do something else. It's really difficult for us to get clear. And, you know, for our listeners, what I would say, or I know what I've done, I've definitely been in those indecisive stages, is remember to actually trust yourself. And actually learning and making it a habit of trusting yourself. Because often, I know especially as women, we don't. And that gives you clarity, actually trusting what comes up rather than, listening to what Sarah and Jane and everybody else says about it. Like, just be clear on where you want to go, not where everybody else is trying to pull you.
Yeah.
Because that can be really debilitating when it comes to having decision fatigue.
Focusing on your goals. I was thinking about something because we do a lot of goal setting with businesses and teams. And I've been thinking more about this, is you don't rise to your goals, you fall to your systems.
100%. Yeah.
And if we don't have a system in place for something, and whether that's simple business steps or how am I going to be with my team, or what happens when I'm feeling overwhelmed if I don't have a system to recover, or, if there's a complaint is a really big one. If a team member comes to me and has a particular challenge or a really big issue and they're upset, but it could be triggering myself and I'm getting a bit upset, is having a system in place of how to calm myself so I can help that person. And without having a system in place, we can't achieve our goals. I talked to a client today and they have lofty goals. And I really enjoyed listening to what their goals were. And then we had a bit of a business unpack to talk about what else was going on. And there were so many areas of the business that didn't have clear systems in place. Those goals, they're just not going to happen.
Yep.
The next step can't happen. So we just strip it back and get all the systems in place for the current business. And when those systems are in place, they're repeatable and the team can follow them. And even if it's like, come in, do this, here's a list, those lists aren't in place. So they're repeating those things every day and they're repeating them with a slightly different edge each time. So the message is slightly different with each manager. And so the clarity is diminished. Putting pen to paper and just putting those 10 steps down, we're all following from the same book.
Yeah.
We're reading from the same page. We're all on the same page. that will be one system they can put in place so everyone's doing the same thing. And then when you're training, you pull that same piece of paper out and you read from the same piece of paper. And it can be that simple.
Well,
we don't often get pen to paper, though.
And I love... Oh, sorry.
Sorry. No, I was just going to
No.
say, like, if everyone's on board, especially from the business point of view, like if you've got like the game book in play and this is your steps and this is what we're doing and we're all starting there, can you imagine how much work and how smoothly everything would be running?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, the best person with systems is McDonald's, right? Like how they just repeat, and they are, as much as I don't like McDonald's, their efficiency, because of the simple systems that they have in place, is next level. And it's just that repetition, and we can learn quite a lot from that role model, from that model. How smooth things can go.
And I like that. I do talk to a lot of franchise businesses, and if McDonald's is a great example, Sabina, that you bring to light. They do have a lot of systems in place. Though, what about when they don't activate some of those systems? So, for example, cleanliness. When they don't bring that one out, how does that happen? So, there's definitely got to be consistency with the systems. And so the checklist of kind of like, well, we have to look at these 10 systems per day. They're important to us. And if they miss one of them, there is also a lack of clarity, because you can go into one store and it doesn't look the same as another.
Yeah.
And so there's a lot of action that they need to take. And an example of that, Sabina, we were together coming back from Nicole's big birthday.
Oh, right, yeah.
And we pulled in for a bathroom stop and a cool drink, and it was not good.
No.
You know, the cleanliness, and then you can go to another one and it's very good. So they might have had a system, but they weren't using it that day. So you've got to use it, right?
100%.
You got to put it in place.
Yeah.
You can have a system that's only as good as the user wants to pull it out and action
Exactly.
it.
Yeah.
So note to self, action taking is required.
Well, and I think that again, and it will get repeated many times in our podcast moving forward. If you do not take the action, then nothing will ever change. So actioning the game book or whatever you need to run your business in a way that there's so much clarity has to be taken, or you're just going to keep looping around and spinning around.
And having a system for your actions. It's really simple. Like, you get up in the morning, you do this. Like, I just have a simple checkbox that I give to people. And it's a performance stack. And it's basically, you just tick off all the things you do. And that's it. That's the system. Just follow that system and you will go forward. That's not that hard. To just keep going forward as long as you follow the system and don't be frightened to have a system for the systems, so that they're all collated properly and they're all organised.
Well, I find if you don't prioritise which system works the best or what plan we're going to use, confusion is really expensive.
Very expensive, yeah.
And in relation to teams, if they keep asking the same questions, it's definitely a clarity problem. Means that we haven't got something in place. And, fast teams, I find, they're not smarter, they're just clearer.
Yeah. So I have a client whose health is a priority because it's a matter of life or death. So for them, they've done what they've needed to do, and now they're needing to support their body. And doing the supporting of the body means that they actually have to action the different actions that are totally different than what they've ever done before, what they ever knew before, and they've had to live it. So it becomes a lifestyle. And if it doesn't become that lifestyle, then it's like when you go on a diet for 3 months and all of a sudden you've lost your weight, you've reached your goal, And then you've gone, I'm going to have that piece of chocolate, and it's a slippery slope, let me tell you, that if you have that extra piece of chocolate that you wouldn't have and you've allowed yourself, you're letting that all back in. And it's the one thing that I've noticed within this client who actually has gone, well, people say just have one cake or have one this because they've removed sugar out of their diet. And it's like, and one won't hurt me, but one might make me want to have the next. And then it's a slippery slope downhill where all of a sudden I'm not living what I want to live for my health. My life is dependent on it. So your businesses are dependent on it, as well as your personal growth and the way that you move through the world. Instead of just looking at it, no, I'll achieve that goal and then I can go back to the way it was. No. That wasn't working. That's why you chose something new. And now you need to stick at it, and it becomes your way of life. And that's it. That's your clear boundaries. This is how my body works, or this is how my business works. And that's just how it's going to be moving forward.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, I think that's very clear. When your clients don't have a system, well, when I think about different people, if they don't have a system in the morning, and I know, Sabina, you talk about this a great deal, we're not setting ourselves up very well. Could you articulate that again? I love that message around, how you speak about what's happening with us when we don't tell our body the right things in the morning.
Well, we're not giving ourselves instructions, and it's like a child. If we were giving the child instructions, and you're saying to the kid, okay, here you can have a chocolate, no you can't, here you can't have it, no you can't, or you can have this chocolate, then we need to be really clear. And we're not being, and I mean, you'll relate too, Belinda, right? From a team's perspective, it's that communication. And communication is not just about external communication, just as important, if not more importantly, it's about the communication we have with ourselves. So ensuring when you've got a system and you know exactly where you're going, a clear system, there's no decision fatigue, it's not negotiable, is you follow X, Y, Z, and then this is what you do. So that sort of maintains or preserves your energy in your brain. And also it tells your brain, like we've said before, in that is I'm decisive. I am making a habit of being decisive. I'm not making a habit of procrastinating about going to the gym, or you are being decisive and setting that tone specifically in that half hour. From a psychological and physiological point of view, it will prime you for the rest of the day. So just being really succinct, no pressing the snooze, just being really keeping your promises to yourself, really, to be honest. And that builds self-trust, because once you keep every promise to yourself, then you start to trust yourself much more, which then brings clarity, right? Because you can trust that clarity, you can trust those thoughts.
Yeah.
And if you keep letting yourself down, the trust diminishes. Same with friendships, same with teams. We have to stay, really strong to that. So I've written here, clarity. So when we have clarity, everything gets faster. So clarity requires consistency of the clarity and then action. So they're 3 good points to put together. And I might actually even call that a 1, 2, 3: clarity, consistency, action.
Yep.
And I think I'm going to write a new program for a client of mine tomorrow.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
But it was just really interesting to see when things are quite disorganized. The lofty dreams of many people and many businesses are exciting. I love to listen to them. They're just not going to get there without having the systems in place for the current trajectory or where they're at. And it doesn't mean that the system's serving themselves well, though it needs to be very strong, clear, consistent, and then, of course, take action.
Yeah.
Yep.
So if you want to move your business faster, I think it's don't push harder, get clearer. And when your team knows exactly what to do, the speed takes care of itself.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Nice.
Yeah, I like that. Well, I would add into that being smarter as well. Just with that sort of like hacking, sort of tapping into your physiology, because then you can get things done even faster. Having that clarity, but then boosting it with natural rhythms that you have in your body, natural chemicals in your body, can just be really powerful.
Yeah.
I love it. Well, ladies, we might wrap up a nice short session today for our listeners. So, our vision with this podcast is simple. Burnout, business, and body aren't separate, they're connected. And when you take care of all three, you don't just survive life, you thrive in it. We're here to motivate, educate, and encourage you to take care of what matters most, and that's you. If something landed today, don't just nod and move on, do something with it. Follow the podcast, share it with someone who really needs it, and take that next step and work with one of us or all three through our 8-step growth master plan. Our links are in the show notes. And this Burnout, Business and Body podcast, we say take care of all three always.
Thank you.
See you, everyone. Thank you.
Bye.
See ya.